What is up, everybody, and welcome to FLW Videos. We have some exciting information to talk about in Pokemon Go, specifically related to Team Rocket being put into the game. We're going to be talking about all of that, as well as what you need to know about the purification process. Should you keep it as a shadow Pokemon? Should you purify it? What are the steps that you need to do? Should you go ahead and evolve it? Just everything about it. I'm going to help you save some Stardust, help teach you as much as what you need to know about it, and then of course the benefit associated to purifying the Pokemon. I am so excited to talk about it in today's episode. The first thing you need to do is focus on the actual encounter aspect of it. So you will end up seeing some Pokestops that will be black, and then they will have the Team Rocket logo on them. If you are not seeing them, a couple things could be happening. The rollout is occurring, and it will go down level by level by level. And secondarily, there seems to be a visual bug going on where they actually turn dark blue and just shake back and forth. But once you get close enough to the stops, they will turn into the regular Team Rocket stop. So keep that in mind. But what you're going to have to do is battle up against the Team Rocket grunt, and then once you take it down, you will then go into the catch screen. But something interesting that's worth pointing out is the fact that you will get Premier Balls to be able to catch it. And that's where purifying a lot of Pokemon plays directly into this, because the more you purify, the more that you can catch or, do whatever, you will raise the number of Premier Balls that you get. Now, I will admit, that may not sound like that big of a benefit, but just imagine as time goes on, if they roll out more important Pokemon, more rare Pokemon, maybe even some raid bosses that are correlated to the purification process instead, what you are going to want to have is to have as many Premier Balls as possible, just on that off chance that we do get rarer Pokemon. Just wanted to go ahead and point that out. So let's go ahead and talk a little bit more about this. So something interesting that I saw someone make a mistake on is involved with evolving the shadow Pokemon and then purifying them. Check this out. So as you can see, we've got a purification cost of 5,000 Stardust. But if you catch this as its base evolution, it's only 2,000 Stardust. So as you go up in your evolution line, it will cost you more to be able to purify it. So if you plan on purifying a Pokemon, make sure to do it as its base evolution and not its post evolution, unless you just want to do it for Pokédex or something. But something else that's kind of interesting is there's really not that great of a reason to keep a shadow Pokemon. A couple of things going on. It will end up being a lower level. We will talk about that once you purify it. But then secondarily, it ends up getting a move called Frustration, and Frustration is absolute garbage. It is not useful in any way. If you want to keep all of this stuff, think about it from a rarity perspective, but not necessarily a functional standpoint. But what you will end up getting once you purify is the move Return. And I would say Return is pretty much on par with the move Last Resort, something that we saw on the evolutions. It's not going to be that great of a move. I'm trying to think of a couple of Pokemon that would make sense and would make it better than maybe like Last Resort or something else. But we're going to keep that in mind as we roll through this video. So let's go ahead and pull up the next screen. This is going to be really cool. So Joe Merrick over at Cerebi.net decided, you know what, I'm going to go ahead and evolve my purified Bulbasaur to see if it keeps Return. So he did purify it, got it over to Bulbasaur, and as we know in Pokemon Go, they do not keep the same moveset as you evolve it up. But guess what ended up happening? It ended up keeping Return. That is insane. So once again, that just kind of pushes the fact that you will need to do it on the first evolution. Do it on Bulbasaur. It will cost 2,000 to do it versus 5,000 as a Venusaur. And then once you start evolving it up, it will end up keeping the exclusive move Return. Keep that in mind. That is very important, just so you're not trying to, go ahead and evolve it as the shadow and then purify it. You will end up spending an extra 3,000 Stardust that you do not need to do. So as far as the added benefit is concerned, this is really cool to give kind of like a side-by-side comparison. First things first, check out how low this CP is going to be. And then, like I said before, 2,000 to go ahead and purify. But once you end up purifying the Pokemon, what is going to end up happening is it is not only going to raise itself in level, but there's going to be a couple other factors associated to it as well that we will definitely talk about. So let's go ahead and back this up. I think that this will be kind of cool once we get into it. But if we take a look at the power-up cost, right? you've probably never recognized a 3,600 Stardust cost, and there is actually a reason for that. This is going to be the single benefit for why you want to go ahead and purify these Pokemon. So first things first, it is going to get raised in level like we talked about, and it seemed like it was by quite a bit. And secondarily, there is going to be a Stardust benefit for powering up, as well as candy cost. So check this out. We got a 10% on candy cost to be able to power it up, and then secondarily a 20% discount on Stardust to be able to power it up, and then of course the exclusive move return. Ladies and gentlemen, this could be massive. I'm not saying it's necessarily that big right now with it just being the handful of Pokemon that have been out so far, but what I am saying is if this gets applied to some extremely good Pokemon, it is definitely going to be worth it. This will be what everyone has wanted from the Lakey perspective, where we end up getting ourselves not only the discount via the Stardust, but also from the candy side. That is what purified Pokemon can do. So I'm definitely going to be on the lookout as the Pokemon begin to roll out. I'll probably make a video of the top ones that you do want to purify or maybe keep as shadow. I'm very excited about that. But anyways, I hope you did enjoy the episode. Hopefully this was helpful to you. If it was, let me know in the comment section below. Let me know what your plans are for this event. And by the way, we hit 100,000 subscribers. I wanted to say a brief thank you to everyone who joined in on the live stream. Very excited about what is going to be happening on the channel. If you want to stay up to date on all of the Pokemon Go news, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you next time. This is where we give a huge shout out to the patrons on Patreon. As many of you may not know, as far as YouTube content creators are concerned with smaller channels, you don't make that much money, although there is a lot of hard work that goes into it. So support on Patreon is very important to smaller creators, and I want to say thank you so much for everyone who has chosen to be a part of it.